Hello and welcome to the 7th Annual Maine Smart Growth Awards, a program of Grow Smart Maine. To honor and celebrate excellent examples of smart growth across Maine, each year the Maine Smart Growth Awards highlights the best of smart growth from around our state. This year, the judges chose 4 winners from the many nominations that were received from across the state. While these 4 awardees are all unique in their own ways, they share a common thread. They provide shining examples of how smart growth principles can be implemented in Maine communities to achieve tangible social, economic, and environmental community outcomes. This year, the awards go to a community planning initiative, a bricks and mortar development, a public policy initiative, and 2 outstanding smart growth practitioners. And so here they are, your 2024 Maine Smart Growth Award recipients. John and Cindy Smith, Great Falls Construction, outstanding smart growth practitioners. John and Cindy Smith are president and vice president, respectively, of Great Falls Construction, a family-owned and operated design-build, construction management, general contractor, developer, located in Gorham, Maine. When envisioning smart growth and how that plays out in tangible terms within a community, one might think of projects like 109 Main Street or Station Square developments in Gorham, South Wyndham's fire station redevelopment into Red City Ale, Berwick's The Edge redevelopment of the former Prime Tanning facility, or the complete renovation of Sebago's Richard's Dairy Delight. These developments, design-built by Great Falls Construction with John and Cindy Smith at the helm, range throughout different communities in Maine, but all seek to foster one thing: community. John and Cindy are village center developers who have placemaking at the core of their goals with each project. Land is always limited, and attention to architectural charm and detail is ever important in the context of Maine village centers. That also means respecting the right density and mixed-use makeup to enhance the fabrics of our main streets. Mixed-use village center development is at the core of their development work because offering housing and economic opportunity is vital to placemaking. Walkability is key to all of John and Cindy's development and creating connectedness for all modes of transit. John and Cindy's developments account for the right-sized buildings to complement the land and environment the development is located within, ensuring the outside spaces are as enjoyable as the inside and fosters healthy, safe, and enjoyable community use is key and demonstrated throughout their many development projects. John and Cindy's approach is engaging the community early and often, inside and outside of public process well in advance of the development taking shape. Listening sessions, neighborhood meetings, and regular updates are all part of how they go above and beyond to ensure that the neighborhood is heard, informed, and happy about the development. Encouraging engagement and being thoughtful developers are attributes that they embody when working with municipal officials and community members in each community they work with. Their developments ensure a tight envelope, use of sustainable materials, and prioritize stimulation of the local economy as opposed to hiring from afar. They also work to clean up environmentally contaminated sites and/or buildings to ensure the spaces we occupy are safe and healthy. Presque Isle Main Street Study, City of Presque Isle and Maine Department of Transportation. Exemplary Smart Growth Plan. The City of Presque Isle and the Maine DOT contracted with T.Y. Lin International and Razor Landscape Architecture to develop recommendations for both short-term and long-term improvements in the downtown area of the city. The purpose of the study was to improve accessibility and safety for all transportation modes while complementing local economic development strategies and objectives. In particular, a major focus of the study was improving existing bicycle and pedestrian facilities and identifying new facilities that improve connectivity from the University of Maine at Presque Isle and underserved neighborhoods to the downtown and local businesses. This was determined to be critically important given a relatively low level of automobile ownership. The proposed design creates in many places fully protected or separated facilities that offer safe, comfortable, and enjoyable spaces for enhanced walkability. To accomplish this, the study applied complete streets principles and right-sized roadways and intersections, thus creating a transportation system that is safe and balanced for all users. The study identified transportation improvements that reduce traffic congestion, improve pedestrian and traffic safety, complement long-range land use planning goals, and align with economic goals for Presque Isle. The study not only considered roadway safety and mobility issues, but also considered improvements to active transportation. It incorporated aesthetic design features to enhance the character of historic downtown Presque Isle and anticipate growth trends and future development. The excitement generated by the study and recommendations has led the city and the Maine DOT to advance preliminary engineering and design with the intent of applying for federal grant funding. The City Council recently approved a request to match state funding, and the vision is overwhelmingly supported by the community. The redesign right-sizes existing transportation infrastructure in the downtown and maximizes connectivity and walkability, allowing the historic street network and pattern and scale of development to reemerge. By aligning community values with the built environment, the redesign will leverage investment in a quality public sphere to spur private investment in mixed-use redevelopment. Additionally, the redesign reduces impervious surface, introduces an extensive urban tree canopy, creates decentralized green infrastructure stormwater treatment areas, creates inviting and comfortable streetscapes, reduces car dependency, and encourages live-work environments. By creating an accessible and mixed-use downtown, people of all ages and abilities will be able to live and work downtown, increasing access to essential services. The redesign deliberately encompasses the demographically diverse residential neighborhoods to the east of downtown, to the west of Presque Isle Stream, and involved consultations with the Micmac Nation. Proposed shared use paths, a pedestrian bridge spanning Presque Isle Stream, and the reduction of lanes on Route 1 will create better opportunity and choice for existing and proposed housing. Community members have used the word transformational at public meetings when describing the downtown redesign because the right sizing of transportation infrastructure will allow for a rediscovery and reconnection of Presque Isle's greatest assets, such as Main Street, schools, recreation facilities, UMPI, the riverfront, the surrounding residential neighborhoods, and open spaces. People understand that the redesign is an opportunity to reclaim the downtown as the heart of the community where meaningful relationships and traditions can flourish. Mercy Hospital State Street Campus Redevelopment. New Height Redfern, LLC, Community Housing of Maine, and Portland Housing Authority. Exemplary Smart Growth Project. Redevelopment of the Mercy Hospital State Street campus into a high-density, mixed-income residential campus is an excellent example of smart growth. This project features adaptive reuse of the historic hospital building, creation of outdoor public space in a shared WUNERF, improvements to existing utility infrastructure, implementation of a traffic demand management plan to encourage and support alternative forms of transportation, and homes both for rent and for sale in an existing urban center. In addition, the redevelopment transformed surface parking into housing, recreated the street wall along Winter Street, and stitched back together the neighborhood that had been divided when the hospital was built. The mixed-use historical hospital, now the Nightingale, anchors the campus. Two adjacent affordable housing projects, the Equinox for families and Winter Landing for older adults, were designed to blend the campus into the neighborhood. A WUNERF between the buildings creates shared public space while also allowing for vehicle movement and parking. Across Spring Street, 9 new townhomes line Winter Street and mask the remaining surface parking. Collectively, these buildings add 269 new residential units, as well as 4 commercial retail spaces and a 38,000 square foot self-storage facility. Of the 269 new housing units, many are dedicated to affordable housing. 10% of the Nightingale apartments are set aside for workforce housing. Equinox and Winter Landing, being built with Community Housing of Maine and the Portland Housing Authority, will offer affordable housing to families and older adults making between 50 and 60% of the area median income. In addition, Winter Landing will include 15 units for long-term homeless older adults. The Equinox includes 10 units for persons in recovery from substance use disorder who are seeking family reunification. The project prepared a transportation demand management plan to encourage multimodal transportation options, including pedestrian and bicycle options. It is conveniently located in a Portland Metro bus line. The central location also makes walking downtown a lot easier, and bicycle use is encouraged with parking available for up to 100 bikes. The central location also makes walking downtown a lot easier, and bicycle use is encouraged with parking available for up to 100 bikes. This project directs additional growth into an already dense downtown residential housing area, where public transportation is readily accessible. Community gathering space is created with a shared WUNERF that knits the block together and allows for enhanced pedestrian access while also accommodating vehicles. Provisions for eco-friendly transit include the new bus stop and ample bike storage. Stormwater management has improved with a modular wetland that provides water quality treatment for runoff from the site. Repurposing rather than demolishing an existing structure conserves resources, reduces construction waste, and preserves the important history of the site. The project includes the installation of energy-efficient windows, increased R-value of insulation, and reduced air and water infiltration of the building envelope, and the installation of highly efficient heat pumps. Overall, this transformation results in an extremely energy-efficient project. Maine Housing Qualified Allocation Plan. Maine Housing. Outstanding public policy. For nearly 2 decades, Maine Housing's Qualified Allocation Plan, QAP, which is the basis for affordable housing tax credit awards, has incorporated smart growth principles and rewarded developers and communities that embrace smart growth principles in their housing developments. The current QAP awards up to 15 points out of a possible 85 for smart growth developments. This can often be the difference between whether an affordable housing development ultimately receives the funding it needs towards completion. All over Maine, there are tangible examples of how Maine Housing's embrace of smart growth principles for housing often becomes the anchoring piece for the revitalization of a downtown or village center community. This long-standing commitment to the principles of smart growth, including the key element of backing smart growth housing developments, both encourages and rewards those who do more than just talk about limiting sprawl, increasing housing density, or reusing historic buildings. Maine Housing is an independent state agency that bridges public and private housing finance, combining them to benefit Maine's low and moderate income people. Maine Housing brings millions of new private and federal housing funds to invest in Maine to create safe, affordable, warm housing. The mission of Maine Housing is to assist Maine people in obtaining and maintaining quality, affordable housing and services suitable to their housing needs. Every housing development financed under the QAP requires the bulk of the homes being created to be kept affordable to a % of the area income, while allowing a smaller portion of the homes to be offered at market rate. Additionally, the plan rewards developers who submit proposals with a higher percentage of homes that are either fully accessible or are built to be easily adapted to be accessible as the needs of the tenant or development's population changes. The plan encourages multi-generational development as well, with points awarded for housing that is planned for older Mainers and housing that is planned specifically for families. The QAP by its nature rewards developers for creating housing that is close to public transit or in walking distance to the goods and services needed by families for their daily lives. The QAP not only supports the optimal use of limited downtown or village center land, it encourages it with financial incentives. The quality design and construction standards and built-to-last nature of Maine Housing financed affordable housing developments are also a consistent source of community pride. The QAP reduces development pressure on open space and requires new construction to comply with the state of Maine's growth management law, prioritizing, for example, projects located in municipalities' designated growth areas or otherwise located in an area served by public sewer. The QAP rewards smart growth with the financial support needed to make affordable housing an economically viable part of any community's economic development planning. Maine Housing was one of the first funding sources in Maine to require applicants for funding to comply with basic rules concerning smart growth. The QAP also requires building design and construction criteria that demands energy efficiency in the final products, along with the adaptation of climate-friendly building materials, construction methods, and adaptable designs that anticipate changing energy needs and sources. For example, the requirement of EV charging adaptability and capacity in all new construction. Maine Housing's energy efficiency measures go far beyond those of any other state or funder codes. Grow Smart Maine would like to thank all those talented groups and organizations who submitted projects for these awards, as well as this year's 4 award winners.